In film, it is generally accepted that when characters advance from left to right, it is seen as progress. It could also imply that good is triumphing over evil. In 2003's The Last Samurai, directed by Edward Zwick, this is done in a slightly different but much more meaningful fashion. Early in the film, we find Tom Cruise and Billy Connolly's characters leading a Japanese army through the woods. They are nervous and unprepared, and all too quickly we see the enemy they had been preparing to fight. This force does not enter from the right, but instead come out of nowhere and directly center of the screen. This is hugely important to relay that this is an uncommon battle and a skilled foe. However, this is not an invading army looking for conquest. These are fellow Japanese countrymen, and the army is quickly defeated by these rebel samurai. And for good reason. Just 10 minutes earlier, Cruise's Captain Nathaniel Algren has shown those who hired him to train the troops that they are clearly not ready. They are going up against warriors whose training and, more importantly, beliefs go back centuries. This is echoed at the end of the film as we find the same army, many months later, now much more advanced, confident, and equipped in both number and weaponry. We still find them advancing from the left, but while Ken Watanabe's rebel samurai move from the right, this is simply to imply that the samurai are pushing against progress, something that they do not believe in, as the emperor and young army are very focused on westernizing their culture and country. In contrast to how the young army was wiped out in the first encounter, we see the samurai decimated by the power of the howitzer and the Gatling gun. This is one of the most dramatic and climactic points in the story because it is not just lives being lost, but now history and beliefs. The samurai honor the past and will do whatever they can to preserve it. Defeating an idea is not as easy as beating a person, no matter what weaponry they yield. And again, the craft and skill of these weapons has to be tuned and hardened over hundreds of years. These two sequences mirror and call back to one another, and the beauty is almost as affecting as the drama. In the beginning, we're not sure who to root for, and by the end, we probably still aren't. However, understanding both sides is key to comprehending and appreciating the story. Katsumoto has a sole purpose, and that is to protect the Emperor, as his family and samurai have done for generations. Tom Cruise's character, Captain Nathaniel Algren, has only known war and pain, and by the end of the film he understands the peace that Katsumoto has fought so hard to maintain. The expectations are subverted as John Toll's cinematography and Zwick's direction make the story so effective. Our hearts break not for the lives lost, but stories, experiences, and skills that are taken out of this world. Again, this is not good versus evil, but idea versus idea, and unfortunately, those stronger material devices help destroy lives that protect the idea. If anything is gained by this devastation, it is that the Emperor sees the dark side of progress, and while young, he is now eager to change the pursuits that he thought his country needed and wanted. The old ways will be missed, as will the conversations, and the brilliance in the story comes from how these views and ideas are represented visually. The scenes land harder because of the structure and style, and support the narratives the whole way through.